Luigi has always been in the shadow of his plumper mustachioed brother. Mario, who is practically the face of Nintendo, is responsible for much of the video game giant's success, especially in North America, while Luigi, despite making his debut in the early days back in 1983, has been relegated to a supporting character at best most of the time. But Mario's taller, greener brother has a lot that makes him stand out too, aside from his height, that is. So today we're counting down the top 10 things Luigi can do that Mario can't. At number 10, Invisibility. When Super Mario 64 was ported to the DS, it took some liberties on the original title. You start the game off as Yoshi, having to save Mario, Luigi, and Wario from Bowser. And you can also get something called the Power Flower, which gave each character a special ability. Luigi's was one that turned him into Vanish Luigi, which made him invisible. He could pass through objects and foes unnoticed without any damage. That being said, yes, Vanish Mario was a thing with the original game, but with the port, it was an ability exclusive to Luigi, and Mario hasn't been able to do it since. Up next, number 9, his smarts. Now, we're not saying that Mario isn't a smart fella, but Luigi on many occasions has boasted some more smarts than his brother. One example in particular is in the game that was his first starring role, Mario is Missing, a 1993 educational game for Windows and NES and the Super NES. While it definitely hasn't made the ranks as one of the most memorable Mario games in the franchise, it does feature Luigi traveling around the world to return stolen treasures as part of a quest to find Mario. Essentially, it's a geography game, and you know who aces the shit out of geography? Yeah, Luigi. He saves his brother. What a guy. Moving on to number 8, fly. Sure, Mario in the past has had access to a bunch of power-ups that allow him to fly, but what Mario needs a power-up for, Luigi can do innately. Well, sort of. In Super Smash Bros., Luigi has an ability called the Luigi Cyclone that allows him to fly up into the air. While Mario has an almost identical move, called the Mario Tornado, the difference between the two is that when Luigi uses the move, he can move sideways while doing it, while Mario only slightly ascends. Plus, if you use the Luigi Cyclone and the Green Missile special move together, you can maneuver Luigi in the air. So basically kind of like flying. In addition to that, Mario Tornado was nerfed in Super Smash Bros. Melee, so kinda sucks for him. Speaking of things that Luigi can do better, in at number 7, he can aim better. Specifically when we're talking fireballs. Hurling fireballs is something that Mario's been able to do for a long time now. The Fire Flower, which first appeared in Super Mario Bros. In 1985, and is arguably one of his most famous power-ups, gives Mario the ability to shoot fireballs. But typically, those fireballs tend to drop to the ground and bounce, which sometimes makes aiming them difficult. Luigi, on the other hand, shoots fireballs in Super Smash Bros., but in a straight line, unaffected by gravity, making them significantly easier to aim, with the ability of bouncing them if it hits a wall or the ground. Sometimes, precision is everything, friends. Moving on to number 6, L-shaped capsules. Sometimes victories come in small, bite-shaped sizes, as are the L-shaped capsules, the pill capsules that are exclusive to the Dr. Luigi game that was released in the Nintendo eShop in celebration of 30 years of Luigi. More on that shortly though. Dr. Luigi, while being fairly similar to Dr. Mario, introduced the L-shaped capsules which added more complexity to the game, requiring players to plan ahead better while playing. So perhaps from this we can glean that Luigi is more strategically minded than his popular sibling, maybe? Moving on to number 5, Luigi can feel more, actually. So this is something that most players wouldn't really be able to gauge from simply playing a Mario game. According to several people who have aided in developing Mario games, Luigi's got a wider span of emotions than his iconic brother. During the press tour for 2013's Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, quite a few things were said about Luigi's span of emotions. Brian Davis, a gameplay engineer at Next Level Games, the company that co-developed Mario Family Soccer games for the GameCube and Wii, said, I quote, "With Luigi, you can also explore a wider range of emotions." His colleague Bryce Holiday also noted, I quote, "He's kind of the underdog in the shadow of his brother, so he kind of has that fearful tension that always surrounds him. Our animators have had a lot more fun kind of getting a wider range of emotions through to the player than Mario will. He just kind of does his pump fist and jumps up. After 10 hours of pump fist, it might be too much." Yoshihito Ikibata, who was the supervisor of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and whose name I most likely said incorrectly, has said, I quote, "Luigi by nature is sort of a little bit of a fearful and clumsy character, so that's something that provides a lot of opportunity for gameplay." And at number 4, the year of Luigi. Luigi had a whole year devoted to him. That's pretty impressive, right? In 2013, Nintendo decided to boost up their favorite Player 2 character by running a year-long promotion called the Year of Luigi, in celebration of 30 years of Luigi's existence. It was also a celebration that ushered in several Luigi-based games, most prominently the sequel to Luigi's Mansion: Dark Moon. Other games included New Luigi U, a game that didn't include Mario at all, Mario and Luigi Dream Team, and Dr. Luigi. Now, to be fair, Mario does have his own national annual holiday, but hey, getting a whole year in your honor because Nintendo felt guilty for not highlighting you as much as they probably should is still pretty commendable. Moving on to number 3, we have the Negative Zone. In Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Luigi's final smash is the Negative Zone, a large void of greenish tinge that surrounds him. And inside the void, everything becomes inverted. Anyone caught inside the void falls victim to a random assortment of afflictions. Luigi, who dances while all this is happening, is unaffected by the effects of the Negative Zone. While you can escape the Negative Zone by rolling out of it, you also have to deal with the effects the likes of reduced attack power, a likelihood of tripping, a damaging flower growth on your character's head, dizziness, time slow effect, sudden sleepiness, and uncontrollable taunting. It also causes weight reduction, which means if you're hit by Luigi, his attacks can be as strong as finishers. Moving on to number 2, he can fight ghosts. Perhaps the coolest ability that Luigi has that his brother has never exhibited is the fact that he's practically a Ghostbuster. Thanks to Luigi's Mansion, a game in which Luigi navigates a haunted mansion in order to save his brother, we got to see Luigi's abilities when dealing with the paranormal, or rather, opposing it. Luigi has a Poltergust 5000, which he uses to suck up ghosts, something Mario has never been able to do. Can't jump on a boo now, can you, Mario? And last but not least, in at number 1, he can jump higher. It may be one of the smallest differences logically speaking on this list, but jumping higher is actually a pretty big deal, as far as a Mario game is concerned. Mario was first introduced in the Donkey Kong arcade game as Jumpman after all. In the 1986 sequel Super Mario Bros. 2, otherwise known as Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, Luigi first became a more distinguished character from his brother, with his movement no longer being identical to Mario's. Instead, he could jump higher and farther than Mario could, but at the expense of movement response and precision. Prior to this, Luigi has just been a clone of Mario in previous games, simply a palette swap of his brothers in order to provide a secondary character in the games. Alright, there we have it, friends. Are you guys a Luigi fan? Or do you prefer Mario more? Or perhaps Yoshi or Toad is more up your alley? Let us know how you feel in those comments below. If you dug this video, please spread the love and hit that like button. And for more gaming videos, lists, news, highlights, and more, be sure to click on that subscribe button. We've also got more on Mario in that playlist that's currently flashing on your screen. In the meantime though, thanks for watching everybody. I'll catch you all in the next video.